Welcome to the UDP broadcast, a podcast where a group of friends get together and discuss gaming-related topics and offer both informed and uninformed opinions. I'm Luminary, and I'm accompanied today by your co-hosts, the Nordic Cajun.
Since when is a Mengi faster than a Zubat? Holy shit. Sorry.
The Eternal Barcode, Jaime.
Hello. You might want to change the scene. Oh, you did change the scene. Perfect.
Oh, yeah.
Hello.
And from the Emerald Dream and celebrating a great day tomorrow, Raina, the Crit Chicken.
Woo!
Hey, there is no celebration when I have to go to work.
Oh, yeah.
Ha.
That makes me sad.
Ha.
Don't they know it's Happy Mommy's Day?
Also, welcome to the 65th episode of the UDP Codcast.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Bitches. I fucking love that. That is like the greatest accidental flubbed line ever.
Yep.
It is phenomenal.
I want that to be the official title. We are the UDP Codcast.
Okay, so let's get the important stuff out of the way. Let's go ahead and get Ping on. Let Jaime do his words. Go ahead.
Yes. 10% of all revenue generated by the show gets sent over to the Trevor Project, which our wonderful mascot Ping has a little bit more information on who they are.
The Trevor Project is the leading organization working to end LGBTQ youth suicide in the US and beyond. The non-profit operates several programs to help prevent and respond to the public health crisis of LGBTQ youth suicide, including 24/7 free crisis services, research, advocacy, education, and peer support.
Thank you, Ping.
Ping.
And remember, this is an opinion show. All opinions expressed here are our own, do not reflect the organizations that we work for or affiliated with. In other words, we are poor.
I will laugh at you if you try and sue. So don't bother. I'm just going to laugh at you, and I'm going to make fun of you.
He's gonna get served on litigation. I mean,
you fucking clown! You assume I have assets. You can have my number 2 pencil, you piece of shit. You can't have the number 1. You can have the number 2. Why? Because you will never be a number 1.
Stick it up the number 2, you know.
all the whole references tonight. Okay.
Oh no!
All the holes.
Oh, you missed how deep Jaime was going.
Yeah, he went deep and far.
I penetrated a really tight, deep crack.
Yep.
I went all the way to the back wall, scraped the edges on the way through.
Mm-hmm.
It was good times.
It was great.
Right. Dog was
silence.
The
silence was loud there.
The dog alarm was going off. He must have spotted something. So,
Serafina, no!
What happened?
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Do it because it's amazing. What you're missing is that Serafina was asking how Crit Chicken was, and she said she was great. She's caused some trouble on Twitter, and that she's allegedly been thirst trapping, which has been amazing and funny as fuck.
It's been great. I've been a fan.
I'm going to be honest with you. I have no idea what a thirst trap is. And don't explain it to me here because it's going to be very awkward.
Don't worry about it.
Speaking of awkward.
I said no.
Speaking of awkward, Cajun has actually miraculously came prepared with the topic tonight, and I'm looking forward to hearing about it. Like, it was a mystery thing. He pinged us in the backstage chat, was like, hey guys, I've got things to talk about. And he came in.
I want you guys to mark freaking May 11th, 2024 at 1937 military time that Nord came prepared. Yes. Okay. If you're not on the cusp of TikTok or social media or anything that's going on in the past 2 weeks, the biggest thing that has been hitting the freaking wavelengths of everybody's just hate boner has been the Met Gala. For those of y'all who don't know what the Met Gala is, it is an annual event where all the hoity-toities show up in the most bizarre of outfits, depending on what the theme is, and they spend an atrocious amount of money just to walk in the door.
It's only $75,000 a ticket, just so
Just
you're aware.
just to
So-
walk in.
That's if you're
yeah.
invited.
And
That's
that's not
if you're invited.
including. Yeah.
So the big
invited.
question is, why the fuck don't you have your $75,000? Why don't you pull yourself up by your bootstraps and go get that, you piece of shit?
I'm working on it, you asshole. But look, that's just to walk in the door. To have a seat at the table is another $300,000. That's 5 zeros and a 3 in the front. That's a lot of money for some amuse bouche. You know what I'm saying? But that right there, what we're saying, started the ignition of everybody's hate boner for what's going on in the stratosphere of the social media networks right now, especially with everything going down across the ocean. We're not going to get into details of that because we don't want to get attacked by bots anywhere. You know, we're talking about in terms of idiots and their social political aspects in the Middle East. When you're sitting there at a table, these people that are sitting there at this event have probably the strongest power in terms of how things are done in this world. You can't count the politicians because they're all already bought out as it is. But when it comes to the common folk and how people think, celebrities and influencers have a lot of sway in how people act. And I'm looking at you, Swifties. There was a long list of people who showed up at the Met Gala. A long list. You can go Google who showed up this year, and you can see the metric shit ton of celebrities that showed up at this event. The Met Gala supposedly is a charity event. The people in Discord can see me with the air quotes, but they call it a charity event, but it only is a charity event for their museum, and they do charity for their costumes. Keep that on the shelf for what I'm going to talk about later. There was a video that went viral on TikTok for all the wrong reasons. It is for a lady that said a very famous phrase that I'm going to say in French so Amy can make fun of me.
Oh no.
And then I will tell you what the background is of
It better not be work will set you free.
No. Not that.
Okay, good. Because
No,
that's
no.
just fucking wrong.
I'm going to tell you what the phrase is, and I'm going to tell you who like mimicked it, as it were.
Just send it to Amy, and he'll say it, and then you can translate it.
Oh no, I have to butcher it. I'm from Cajun country. I have to butcher it first.
Oh.
So the original phrase is "Qui manière de la brioche." Translates to "Let them eat cake," in so many different words.
Oh.
For you history buffs out there, or the people who don't know, the last
Marie
person Marie Antoinette, the last person to say this phrase got a very nice and permanent haircut.
She was the Queen of France.
Yep.
For a very short time.
There was a lot of bad things going on with the common folk in there, and she thought it'd be a smart idea to tell them, "Hey, just let them eat cake."
Look.
Go
Sir,
ahead, Amy.
You're forgetting the very simple thing. People got upset, but it's nothing to lose your head over.
Fun fact.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
She could rival the Headless Horseman.
Just to put a little like funny or like lightheartedness to this whole story, she was trying to escape, and she put her cats on the boat first, but she didn't make it to the boat. Her cats made it to Maine, and now there's a very prominent breed of cat out there called the
Maine Coon.
Yes, came from her cats because they made it to America, but her headless ass didn't. Just throwing that out there just for kicks and giggles. The reason why I'm bringing her up is because there is a very predominant influencer on TikTok called Haley Bailey. She apparently either went to the Met Gala or an after party or both. And she was dressed up in a very, very floral outfit and her TikTok that went viral, which she has now deleted, but it has been redone with stitches all across TikTok to where it's never going away. It had
Perfect.
zoomed up on her face, and of course she's saying, "Let them eat cake," and it zooms out to her in her costume. Now,
It's a big giant slice of cake.
no. It is literally. I will. You guys can see me on the camera. This was her outfit. Tell me if it's. I'm gonna.
It's
I'm zooming a little. There you go.
it's
Like,
an extravagant. Basically, what it looks like it's a white frilly dress with a really long train full of flowers as the uh, stuff covering the dress itself, and it's done in a style reminiscent of when Marie Antoinette was actually in power.
She looks like a cake maker's nightmare, is what she looks like.
well,
She
here's
looks like a cake topper, except she's got a little bit too tall.
here's the kicker, though. It goes even deeper than that, my friends,
Oh no.
because the theme.
Uh-oh, guys. Time to whip out the Easy Bake Oven.
Oh, because she's getting cooked right now. That's going to be the end of the conversation here. But the next layer of this cake, as I may, is the reason why she's all in flowers and all that good stuff is because this year's theme for the Met Gala was called the Garden of Time. Now,
Oh no.
if you've never heard of the Garden of Time, again, your boy came with receipts tonight. Y'all should be impressed. The Garden of Time is a short story by J.G. Ballard, and it's a story about an aristocrat and his wife who are trapped in a garden, and they're using magic to slow down time before the peasants of the area come in there and kill them, because of how bad they treated the peasants or how bad the things are going on with the peasants in the area. Literally eat the rich in terms of what's going on in that story.
Perfect.
The whole theme of the gala was the Garden of Time.
And
And
so when she said, let them eat cake, that could also be
the same
Never mind.
situation with
misconstrued.
it could, but it definitely was not with the people of both TikTok and just the social media in general, because it absolutely blew up. When I tell you there's retweets and reposts and stitches on TikTok of that thing, it is phenomenal the amount of reaming she is getting for saying that. Now, the icing, the cherry on top of this cake
Oh, no.
is they're turning this into what's called Block Out 2024. Right now, there's a huge momentum on TikTok that is going around, and every single celebrity that was either at the Met Gala or who has not talked about and used their influence to help the people out in you know where, they're getting mass unfollowed and blocked on all social media.
Fantastic.
The woman in question, Haley Bailey, she had hit 10,000 followers on TikTok at the Met Gala. She even came out on TikTok that night and was celebrating how she hit TikTok prestige of 10 million followers on TikTok. However, currently, this is the only thing I don't have pulled up. I'm pull it up real quick. Haley Bailey TikTok followers. It was people are literally like making it a point to do videos of how fast their numbers are dropping. And there's a website called Talk Count, which allows you to see their follower count live. And they're making videos of that to show how they've been affecting what's going on. And this is not just for her. This is for people like Kim Kardashian, Taylor Swift, Lizzo, all the big wigs in the social media realm. They're not showing her numbers right now, so that's either she either lost her account or she's trying to keep it private. But as of this morning, she have already lost nearly 1 million.
Dumbass.
Kim Kardashian
Sick.
lost a bunch Taylor Swift lost a bunch. Like there's people dedicated to their accounts of going in there and showing you these are the ones that we are unfollowing now. So go unfollow these people. Go block these celebrities. And it's become quite, I hate to say epidemic of unfollows and blocks, but it's working to the point where Kim Kardashian actually came up and made a threat.
What?
Kim Kardashian made a threat talk about like she didn't outright say it, but in so many words she came out and said, if I could find you people who are doing this, and she had to catch herself because she was going to say something she was going to regret. But you could read the undertones of what she meant.
What were you going to say, Crit?
Go ahead, Crit. Sorry.
I was gonna say at the Met Gala, I mean, it's interesting because like Billie Eilish, I don't think she actually went this year. I think there's a lot of stars that actually didn't go this year, I guess, because of what's been going on. I think they knew what was coming up. I don't know if they heard through the grapevine, but there's also one celebrity, I guess, that was there. Nobody knows who it is, or at least not that I know of. She was like, or they were like draped, like kind of like they had like an umbrella thing all over them, so you couldn't see even their feet, but they stuck out their
Yeah.
hand and they're like, "Show us who you are. Show us your face. Show us who you are." And they stuck out their hand, and then she went, or they went into the a vehicle, and they're like, "Boo!" I'm like, "Yeah, that's probably a good thing that they covered up because they probably would have been canceled too."
Oh yeah, anybody that was there or had anything to do with the party itself or the after party is up for grabs. Like I said, there's a huge list of celebrities that has been like put out there who went to the Met Gala or who has not spoken up for the atrocity that's going on across the sea, across the ocean. Like even
Which
the
one? There's several going on right now, but I guess all of them.
how can I properly say this without like
Not the first one, the second one.
the
Yeah, number two.
the
Yeah, number
Yahoo
two.
the Yahoo
Yeah, number 2.
yeah number 2 like could you imagine if they would have taken that money they used at the Met Gala and helped people out there, how different things would be right now? Well, I say that
I have some.
with Yahoo, you really can't say that. I think I retract my statement.
Yeah, like the thought is there. I'll give you that much. However, it would unlikely never be put to good use. But that's for a different talk
Reason.
show altogether.
Yeah, I'm just saying the fact that there's
Yeah.
more college students doing outreaches and protests for this than there are celebrities is frightening, and it's deafening. The
Well,
silence of some of these
You
people.
also got to think those things aren't for poor people or people of no, that it's for rich people to be surrounded by rich things and be praised and all the good works that they've done. Like it's not for people that scrape the bottom. Not for people
Well,
who are dying.
Absolutely
Like
not.
how much good they could do. How many people could they feed with the money that they use for that?
Mhm.
Probably quite a bit.
Yeah,
But
like
it's not
food
for
banks
them.
could use that fucking money. Seriously, like
When the entry fee is more than the median income in the country, there's an issue.
yeah, and that money can go to like banks. It could
Or
be
a
set up
house.
as yeah.
Mhm.
It could be set up as like funding for any sort of social services, really,
Mm.
because you can set it up as grant money, and then not for profit organizations would be able to apply for that kind of money, which can greatly assist them. And you
Well-
can like give that to charity. Like I don't know. The Trevor Project sounds like a great place that you could send 75 grand.
I'm
better yet,
saying
With the sheer amount of medical problems that everyone has, at least as far as the United States is concerned, perhaps maybe taking that chunk of money and paying off medical debt. So
Who'd have thunk it?
I don't know. I mean,
now on the lighter side of that whole aspect in terms of what's going on across the way. I mentioned Taylor Swift. She's
I noticed.
she's arguably one of the most influential people. Period.
Yes.
Like we've given her, I hate to say it, we've given her praise in the past. At least I have, about what she did with Hollywood, bypassing Hollywood altogether to do her movie for her tour.
with how
And
much
making sure
influence
people
she
got
has,
paid.
if she were to hint that she might run for president, she'd be thrown into office so fast
Oh,
without
absolutely.
a campaign. Like they would like
She said,
walk in.
hey guys, hey guys, I'm on the ballot. Okay, you're in. It's over.
You're like Ronald Reagan all over again.
Yeah,
Mhm.
except with better decisions, possibly.
Wow.
The reason why I'm bringing her up again is like bar none. If she were to say anything, things would change. Like that's how much power she is. This generation's Beyonce. Let's call a spade a spade. Because back in the day, Beyonce could do the same thing. If she said something, it happened because of the power and the people she had behind her. Which she's also on the block out list, by the way.
Speaking of power and people behind us, I forgot to run an ad before we started this podcast. So, if anything, we're going to stop talking about stuff and we're going to go ahead and run this ad so that way we can get through the rest of the podcast so people can.
I ran out of booze. It's a great time.
I did too. I gotta go restock.
So you got 3 minutes to go make a sandwich, and we will.
I'll come back. I'll come back. I'll finish what I'm talking about, and then we can jump into whatever else you guys want to talk about.
And I'll cut this part out when we publish, so it'll be fine.
All right, I'll be right back.
Keep that in. It'll be more fun.
Oh, okay. We'll leave it then.
BRB.
Enjoy the ads, chat.
I don't want to be featured on Yahoo.com, okay? No, but have you even been seeing what's been happening over at Eurovision?
No, last thing I heard about Eurovision, they took AI and generated like lyrics from all the Eurovision winners. It was like, what was it, Blue Jeans and Bloody Tears? Something like that. It wasn't a bad song, but that's the last thing I heard from Eurovision.
Yeah, apparently Met Gala and Eurovision this year was kind of a flop on the same subject.
I don't know. The whole thing is just.
I think just generally people are just getting sick of it.
Oh yeah, hands down.
Oh, by the way, tonight there might be another solar what is it? The solar storm.
I saw that. You retweeted it, and I took a look at it. I know it's supposed to be real strong on Sunday, and then kind of peter off throughout all the way to like Tuesday. I don't know how that's going to affect everyone. To be quite honest, I'm kind of wondering how it's going to affect me
Go
working
out
from
there
home.
tonight and watch it, I guess.
Well, it's an electrical storm, so I'm more concerned about what are my electronics going to do, and am I going to be able to work Monday? That's kind of where I'm at, or even play video games.
I think yes and yes.
Hmm.
It reminded me. I feel like posting the clip from The Simpsons and Aurora Borealis at this year, this time of year. Scared her.
That should be fun.
The steam Tams.
Doggo is curled up in his cuddler, taking a nap. He was out. He was in that. You've seen animals when they get into that deep sleep where they just become limp and just like you wonder if they're alive. He just moved his head like, dude, don't mess with me.
I have returned with 28 seconds left of ads.
Indeed. Seems
Hello,
like you've
ads.
been enjoying your pool, Crit.
Oh, I think she walked away.
No, sorry, I'm back.
Seems like you've been enjoying your pool.
Oh yeah.
Probably real handy there in Florida, considering like you're surrounded by water on all sides.
Well, I'm in the center of the state, so it's kind of like an hour or two to get to the beach. Either way, I'm kind of flanked. And then I have a bunch of lakes, but you know, when Amy was here, he was like, "That's an actual gator. That's a real life gator."
That is.
Yeah, see, I only see them in not museums, in zoos. So when you can see a swamp puppy or a murder log up close, well, from the side of a highway.
On the side of the road.
No, it wasn't on the side of the road. He was down by the water. Like, he was actually just head popped above water. And I was like, murder log.
Swamp puppy, murder log.
Yeah,
well,
close
leathery
to
speed
close
bump.
to
Water speed.
Ooh,
Yeah.
I hadn't
Depends on
heard that one.
if you're in the water boat, then absolutely. The water boat, airboat. That's the one I'm talking about.
Okay,
Louisiana
the
sauce.
water.
I
Anyway,
still haven't. I still haven't eaten gator yet. I know a lot
it
of
is
people eat gator,
delicious.
but
Gator is
oh,
delicious.
If it's farmed, I got no problem with it. If it's wild caught, I'm probably gonna have a problem with it.
I mean,
As you're done, by the way, is there anything
Oh,
else you
hello.
wanted to add to that?
Yes, so let me finish my statement, and I'm done. Like my brain has like exploded with all the information I have for the night. I mentioned back with the whole Taylor Swift thing. Like if she said something, that's it. Like things would move, the presidency, and then help, and da da da. That's what we had ended it with her. Now, I'm sure a few of you. I mentioned this in Discord earlier this week, but I'm sure all of you are aware of the artist called Macklemore.
Oh yeah.
Macklemore
yes.
he became famous for his song "Thrift Shop," which is a silly song about going to thrift shop, buying stuff, cheap prices, But
He's gonna pop some tags. Only got
oh,
$20 in his pocket.
yes, that guy. Well, if you ever listen to his full album, he is a very big advocate for the LGBTQIA plus community, the any equality across the board. Sorry, I don't know where that cough came from. Equality across the board,
Hey.
freedom for all, or none of us are free. He's a very strong advocate for standing for rights for everybody. He came out with a song called Hind's Hall, HIND' Hall. If you have not heard that song yet, please go listen to it. Give it all the attention it deserves because he didn't just say all the quiet parts out loud. He screamed it from the mountaintops. In terms of everything going across with Yahoo across the way, things going on here and everything. Like he held nothing back in that song. And
Neat.
all I can imagine is if somebody like Taylor did that, wow. Just wow. Like I haven't heard about Macklemore in years, and all of a sudden he comes out of just out of nowhere and says, "Hey, listen to this shit." And
Yeah.
Hey,
it's
he's had some good bangers lately. I mean, if you think about it this way, he had a collab with Fall Out Boy to do Summer Days back in 2019, and then
that's
there was
true. He
also the
did. Hmm.
Can't Hold Us in 2012.
Oh yeah, "Can't Hold Us" is a classic, and people love that song. That song goes hard. But in terms of like his beliefs and what he stands for, a lot of those songs get pushed by the wayside. Like if y'all ever have a chance, just go look up his discography on YouTube. Some of his stuff is amazing. Like I have huge respect for this man and for what he did. Like in the current climate, he came out and put out that song Heinz Lobby, and it says what we all want to say basically in terms of a lot of things going on. So yeah. The too long didn't read version, Matt Gala's theme was hilarious because it's pretty much Hunger Games in modern day.
Excellent. Eat the rich. They
That's
taste
it.
better. They taste best with Sweet Baby Ray's, the
Mm.
only barbecue sauce known to protect against radioactive fallout
Are you serious?
from thermonuclear detonations. Yes. See if you happen to have a 1 kilogram block of uranium 235 for fissile material, and you've been doing Arm Day, you should be able to squeeze it down to a critical mass when your house is attacked by
Cool.
Serbian angry Serbians.
Okay.
Or yeah, so there's a channel called the Bosnian Ape Society that has a video on that, and I'll link it in chat because it is really goddamn funny. Bosnia or no Serbs. A group of Serbians with a malicious intent are going to come and try and break into your home, and only Sweet Baby Ray's can protect you.
Ah.
Yeah, I love that video. It's so good.
Hey, Nord,
Yes. This
check
is
your
Nord.
DMs.
Okay.
This is also the same person that made a video about how America pissed on the moon.
America. Oh yeah. Yeah, there was
Yep.
videos about it.
Yep.
People thought they were fake. Been in debate for years. People have been punched in the face for it.
Well, the best part is, we'll spam this a few times. The best part is, those suits have diapers in them. So yes. Now, granted, you didn't leave the piss on the moon, but you did technically piss on the moon. The moon has had piss on it.
I can't imagine walking around in a suit you can't take off and having to mess yourself because all your waste is caustic, which means there must have been some nasty rashes and all kinds of shit.
Because the way those things are designed, basically, think Huggies, like Moisture Lock, but on steroids.
Oh.
And if you think about it, most general purpose day-to-day products that we use were first used for either military purposes or space purposes.
Yep.
Like Teflon, I think, was one of them that was designed for space use first.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so think like Turbo Huggies.
Okay.
Turbo Huggies. I love it.
Okay. Well, speaking of Huggies,
it's been a night. I'm sorry. I literally took up 30 minutes of the show. You're
that's fine.
That's fine.
How many times have I gone on rants?
Yeah.
I was due for one. I was due for one, and I still, I felt very strongly about that shit.
Yep.
No, we good.
Let's move on to EA. They have been in the news this week.
Speaking of bullshit,
what did they do?
Speaking of bullshit,
you're talking about prototyping moon stuff and military stuff. Apparently, they're going to try to put ads back into video games somewhere, and they're trying to fit it in.
Yes, I fucking love skewing those things.
So, yeah, that's a thing. They're talking about how to implement it and whatnot. And I guess it seems like this has been the month of where people are trying to
piss gamers off the most.
Well, not necessarily piss gamers off the most. You said it perfectly last podcast. Earnings calls are coming up, and and they're finding reasons. Yes, we've brought in the moon, but we had to trash 18 people to do it. Whatever it may be. And that just seems to be the way it's going. Like, heck, even Helldivers, and we'll get to that here in a few minutes. But yeah, they're trying to find a good fit for it, and they're thinking that it has to be outside of games. I can't imagine it being in the games. However, I have seen it. You ever heard of a game called Anarchy Online?
Yes, but have you also heard of Battlefield 2142?
Well, I've heard about it.
That had ads. That had full-on billboards.
Oh, yeah.
For ads. And the best part with that is as you ran by them, the game was tracking at what angle and how much of the screen and for how long those ads were in your field of view.
Oh, wow. Unskippable ads. You had to literally walk across so that way they don't get
most of the time you didn't notice them.
Like crab walk.
Yeah, most of the time you couldn't notice them on the billboards, but I would just go climb onto the billboards and just stare at them. Just to skew with the metrics.
They should just take a page out of Reels, because me and Amy watch On Patrol Live a lot, and Reels is like, so if you want to rewatch some of these old commercials that you've been enjoying, and you enjoy them,
now,
there's a whole channel dedicated to just ads.
Yeah.
A whole Reels channel dedicated to full-on ads. Here are some of your favorites.
Yeah, because what I want to do is watch more fucking ads.
Capcom started getting into that with Street Fighter V and Street Fighter 6 as well. I don't know if it was actually in game because I haven't got to play enough of it to see it, but especially during live stream tournaments, in between, you see the two characters come up, they choose who they're going to play, they show the little animation in between, and then the loading screen is ads for their stuff. Is ads for Street Fighter costumes or Street Fighter updates or
that kind of makes sense though.
But EA is looking to putting them in every single loading screen.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You load you move from one area to other, and here's an ad for another game or another service or microtransactions to make your character more buff and OP than they should be. Because EA is a microtransaction dickhead. Anyway, sorry, go ahead.
It's the next Raid Shadow Legends.
Oh God.
Well, mind you, it's not outside their own possibility
This
that
level brought to you by X-Ray Shadow Legends.
that this thing actually happens. Think about it. We've had games like the Burger King game. I forgot what it was.
Burger King, Sneak King. It's called Sneak King.
Sneak King. There was a Pepsi Man.
Pepsi Man. Oh my
Mhm.
God.
What?
Yeah.
Yes, there's a game called Pepsi.
There was an old NES game called Noid, and I believe Noid
Yep.
was part of the 7-Up campaign.
No.
Or was it
Noid
Domino's?
was Domino's.
Domino's.
Oh, Domino's.
I remember that.
Spot was 7-Up. That
Oh, yeah.
was the game.
There was a Spot game too.
To be
So-
fair, that was a fun ass game.
It was.
Lie.
I mean, and we're bombarded in movies anyway, where people strategically have like a can of whatever drink in front of them, and they're like, yeah, no, I totally get what you're talking about in this stressful situation. I'm certainly thirsty. You know what I mean?
Do you want to know what my favorite ad placement entity has ever been?
What was that?
The very first Shia LaBeouf Transformers movie. It was all GM product, except for the semi-truck, because GM doesn't make a semi-truck big enough. So they went to Peterbilt, which makes the largest semi-truck possible. But otherwise, that was pure GM marketing. And also the TV show on, I think it was NBC, called Heroes, was all Nissan sponsored. All the vehicles were Nissan vehicles.
That's hilarious.
Now the fun.
So awful.
Now this isn't actually. I know this is more a lighthearted situation. This is not actually advertising. But who here has watched the Fallout show?
I have not. No spoilers, please, because I do want to
I'm
watch
I'm not going to give you any spoilers per se of the show. But in like episode 5 or 6, they put a phone number out.
Oh no!
On the screen. You can
867-305.
I don't remember. I really don't.
28133. What is it? 281-334-8. I don't know.
Something.
Mike Jones' number.
Something Vault. They had VAULT as the last 5 numbers.
Oh, the Borderlands thing, right?
No, it's for Fallout. And if you call the numbers, you get a Easter egg-ish about what's going on in that vault. And if you text it, you get an ad from Vault Tech. I know that has nothing to do with what we're talking about, but in terms of the show and in people engagement and actually getting people like into like the lore of it, I thought that was the greatest thing a TV show has ever done. And kudos.
That's not so bad.
Yes, that was great. That's the kind of stuff
But I think
want to do.
Borderlands did the same thing for their movie.
I haven't
There was a
seen the
Borderlands movie.
Yes, there is, and Jack Black is Claptrap. So yes, I need to go see.
Oh, now I gotta watch it. I was gonna
not watch it.
I love Jack Black, and he is not on that list that we mentioned earlier, so I have to go watch it.
How's that gonna work? He already did the Peaches song. How is he gonna top the Peaches song? I don't understand.
He did Peaches. He did.
By
I thought the
shitting
presidents of
Bolt.
the United States of America did Peaches.
No. It was Jack Black, and he did the Britney Spears song. Oh God, what was it? He did it for Kung Fu Panda. My loneliness is killing me. That's
Copyright. Okay, so check this out.
Copyright. I said.
Oops, I did it again.
There you go.
That's the song you're
Anyway.
thinking of.
Yes. What were you saying? I'm sorry.
I forgot now. I'm a potato.
Sorry. I've had a few drinks today, so I'm a little happy.
So how does that work with the thing we were just? Wow, my brain is melted too. All right, cool.
I know. I brought the happy smiles about the situation. What EA is doing is absolute bullshit.
There we go.
Like
funny.
you have people people buying a $60 to $70 game, and then not only probably adding microtransactions to your game because you're EA, you're also going to be putting ads to other games within your game.
Don't forget, there won't be any support for the game after launch day. And even launch day, there won't be support unless there's an overwhelming bug that needs to be fixed because it's EA, they pump and dump.
Yep.
Oh, I said what I said.
I like that phrase, pump and dump. That's nice.
Yep,
It's like pumping stock and then dumping stock.
Yeah.
Yep.
Or other pumping and dumping. But
Hello.
mind you, this whole thing it's in talks of like talking about doing it. So they're prototyping it, so it could come out. It's a bad idea. Now it's out in the air. I'm pretty sure there's going to be a lot of backlash over it. I mean, we've survived downloadable content. We survived day one DLCs. We've survived day zero patches. We've survived season passes,
Yep.
right? And well, I
Remember
don't
when
really.
DLCs were called expansion packs?
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, and you
Uh,
could buy them separately as like on a disc.
Oh yeah, you could like go to the store and have a physical copy
Yeah.
in your hands, going, "Oh, this is the part that makes my game go better. Perfect. I will
Yes.
do that." Right?
And I have many expansion packs beside me.
Mm-hmm.
I wish we would just call them that again instead of DLC. Because DLC seems like here's a new hat. Here's a new Malibu Stacy hat. That's your DLC. When you have like full on new expansions to the game,
Mm-hmm.
at least Blizzard doesn't call it DLC. They just call them expansions.
I think
People should go back to calling them expansions because
I think so
DLC
too.
is just scummy sounding.
Yeah, it is because you don't know what you're getting. It's kind of made it androgynous because you don't know if you're getting a hat or if you're getting a whole story.
Yeah,
Kinda
like, am I going to get crabs from this purchase?
Hit him with a shampoo, you'll be fine.
Oh,
Well,
God.
EA was also in the news because apparently they've learned their valuable lesson. So the next Battlefield is going to be another tremendous live service. I'm so tired of live services. Like, it's mostly because once the game dies, you can't play it anymore.
Yeah.
Nope.
That's it. Like
Just-
I don't understand how Anthem's still kicking, but even still, if I wanted to play it single player, I'd like to go play Anthem single player if I decided I wanted to do it, right?
Just let me play my goddamn game instead of taking the game away from me because you charge me between $70 and $80 for a game, and then you're going to say, oh, no, you can't play it anymore. Just
Look at it- look
if
at
you
it,
don't want to pay
Nintendo.
for the services anymore because you're, wanting that next earnings call to look real good, just open up the back end to the community so they can keep maintaining it. Yeah, you're not going to see any more money on it, but you're also not spending more money on it, you fuckos. Anyways.
Mind you,
That
the
makes but that makes sense though.
Speaking of EA and all these other, you know, people and things and more things,
Mhm.
what's going on with the whole Helldivers?
Yep, that's where I was
Oh,
going to
yeah.
go next. So,
All right.
Amy, go ahead.
there
I'm
Your
going to get
turn.
something to drink. You
It's-
go for it.
It's Amy's turn.
was an accounting mistake done that got corrected today. And taking a page out of Office Space, they corrected the mistake. The rest of the problem will go away on its own. So the mistake was originally, and if you don't know, Valve does not impose restrictions unless you tell them to. So it's not Steam or Valve's job to say this product is not available in these countries. That's you as the publisher or developer are the ones who make that call. And now there are enough people who have complained to customer service, and customer service is confirming exactly the words I'm saying, that it is the publisher. So in this case, it is PlayStation PC LLC is who is the publisher, and they're responsible for saying this product is not available in XYZ country. Well, originally, as most of us know, and from the podcast last week, there's 177 countries that were banned from buying it.
Mhm.
Now, yes, Sony backtracked and said, oh, we're not going to force you to link your accounts, but they still haven't released the block on those 177 countries. Now, where I'm going with this whole accounting issue and Office Space is that Valve misclicked 3 times for 3 countries. So 3 countries got fixed, and they have now been included on the block list. Unfortunately, Estonia, Lithuania, and Latvia, all EU members, as far as I remember, are now on that block list. So unfortunately, Valve did the right thing because they've been told 180 countries, but they only did 177. So now they have rectified the accounting issue. I'm still not playing it anymore until that block on 180 countries is lifted. And I'm really hoping the European, because anyone who lives in North America understands that North American consumer protection laws are trash, both in the US and in Canada. We could give no fucks about you as a consumer because you just get in the way of me doing stuff and things. So being able to, stick it to the consumer is something that we're allowed to do in North America. However, in the EU, with their strong protections against this, you can't just go around doing that shit. So it'll be interesting to see if the EU gets involved under a regulatory capacity to say, wait a minute, you sold this product to people knowing that you were going to eventually block it in these regions. Why did you let these sales happen? Because that is definitely a Sony problem, not a Valve problem, because Valve just hits the button. And really, it's an automated system. So you just select where you want it available, and within an hour or so, the enforcement goes into action, whatever that enforcement happens to be. So at this point, Sony being the multi-$100 million, billion-dollar company they are, there's no reasonable expectation you can have to say that they do not have an account manager who would immediately take action on their behalf if they said, "Hey, I want this restriction lifted right away. I don't want to wait for the servers to sync. I want this to go right now." They definitely have an account manager, and they could definitely pull some strings with IT to make that happen. The fact that it still hasn't demonstrates all you need to know about Sony.
Well, sir,
And that is, they do not give two fucks. They will back down when they've been caught red-handed being douche nozzles, but that will not stop them from continued behavior, because if they really gave a shit, and if they really were concerned about public opinion and, corporate fallout from all that crap, they would have lifted those restrictions in those companies by now, but they have not done that. And until they do that, all we can do is assume that they're just going to be lying piles of shit. Because it's just words. At the end of the day, all they have done is open the noise tube and made sounds come out. That's all they've done.
That's only because like we are literally in between Sony and the money that they want. That's it. They don't care.
Yeah.
the new adage for all gaming companies with a AAA era and tag on there is, just because you buy something doesn't mean you own it.
Yeah, and what was it? Ubisoft, their president or their CEO was like, people have better get used to not owning their games. You had better get used to piracy.
I was gonna say they just because when you say, well, this is what I hear when you say, just because you buy something you don't own it. If buying something doesn't own it, then pirating isn't stealing.
Exactly, and that's a mantra that I've heard numerous times on social media so far. And as much as I do not condone piracy,
nope.
What you do in your spare time at home, I don't care.
That's all you, baby.
If the game happens to fall,
if I don't own the game that I purchased, then that means in the future I will not support you.
Correct.
Yep, pretty much.
I also look at it this way: what you do in your own home is up to you. If the game happens to magically fall onto your hard drive somehow, it just happened.
I recompiled your game. Sorry.
Exactly, and like I said, I do not condone piracy, but if it happens to fall into your hard drive somehow, well, I mean, that just happens. Because you know what? You don't own the game.
That's it.
It just fell there.
Well,
attitudes like that are absolute trash, and that is really disingenuous to the consumer, because without gamers, there are no game developers.
Nope.
Yep.
And these idiots making these comments don't understand. And unfortunately, there's a lot of people who will still shill out tons of cash for companies when they behave like this, which is a real shame, because nobody deserves your money if they're going to treat you like that. If they're just going to say, well, fuck you, you can't have this, but give me your money anyways. No, don't do it.
Yeah.
They do not deserve your money.
Or instead, why don't you go throw your money at Animal Well, which was released under publishing of Big Mode by Donkey, and that's out on Steam right now. So indie publisher, indie game, like he just released a video talking about it and the developer and whatnot. It looks awesome and it is very stylized. I really like the looks of it. But on the topic of country restrictions and Valve, Vietnam is restricting access to Steam at this particular point because the developers there don't think it's fair. They have to go through regulations and whatnot to publish on Steam. Meanwhile, Steam can offer whatever game they want in their country. So they have the ISPs and the developers and the whole country has been like, nope, we're blocking like the Steam launcher IP. We're blocking the web helper. We're blocking the store. Like, there's no more Steam in our country. Big middle finger to everybody. Like,
all because
that only
they
hurts
have
the consumer. That only hurts the people actually want
exactly,
to.
and it only makes you use VPNs.
Yep.
Like, let's not kid ourselves. VPN traffic that's encrypted is very difficult to tell unless the VPN itself has IPsec in the headers, in which case you can just filter that shit out. Except when you have corporate companies that require IPsec for their VPNs, then it gets a little bit tricky. But yeah, you're just going to force people onto VPNs.
Yep.
Why do you think Disney Plus and Netflix can't stop people from, watching content in restricted countries?
Do what you want because a pirate is free. You are a pirate.
You sound like you visit a bay of pirates every now and then.
I used to partake in Tortuga back in the day. Yes.
Yeah,
Back in the day,
the Isle of Tortuga.
Back in the day, I was a frequent. That is true.
Over the 7 prox seas.
How do you think I got started in my video editing back in the day?
Oh
There
yeah,
you go.
like whenever we were doing our internet radio stuff, Cajun, they immediately sent us, since we couldn't afford Sam Broadcaster, they immediately sent us to go download it from some
Yep.
BitTorrent somewhere. So,
Yes, sir.
Damn.
Yeah. But it was a very, very spread out group, and there wasn't a whole lot of money there, so don't worry about that.
Oh yeah, it was the struggle bus was real.
Oh, yeah.
But back on the topic, just to put a little more
Mhm.
spice in the gumbo when it comes to yes, I pulled a Cajun term out there.
You really are Cajun.
I am. Well, I am a certified Cajun. I was born in Mississippi, but I moved here. I can talk a little bit of Cajun French. I can cook a gumbo, so they accepted me as one of their own. But anyway, I saw an article. I wish I could find it. It says we are now entering the age of the I don't need a publisher when it comes to making games. And let's be real, we have seen many more and much better indie games than built by one person than we've seen with AAAs in a long time. And the fact that they're trying to put these ads in their game knows that their quality has dropped significantly.
Did you hear about the quadruple A games?
No.
What?
Yeah.
I know.
So this was, yeah, I don't remember if it was Todd Howard who said it, but somebody was like, we're not gonna make our next game is not gonna be a AAA title. It's gonna be a quadruple A title.
If your quadruple A title can do anywhere, can hold a single candle to the likes of Baldur's Gate 3, then you'll get my attention. Until then, sit down, shut up, and know your role.
I don't know. That sounds like Web3 and blockchain, so I'm out. So, like, it's the only way I can think of like selling quadruple A as a good thing is that they're going to sneak blockchain in there somewhere. But let's go ahead and pile through the rest of this stuff. LinkedIn now has games. Woo! So your professional life, yeah. So the corporate spamming social network site that you signed up for and forgot about now has games.
Because that's what it needed,
right? And the last thing about LinkedIn, I believe, who was it? It was Bowser from the Nintendo president. Got into a fight on LinkedIn because some other person, I don't remember what his name is at this particular point, was talking about. Let me ask you your feelings on this. You've all been on planes, right?
On planes, yeah.
On planes, yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay, all right. Whenever people go to sit in their seat, is it a problem if people touch the top of your seat to try to balance themselves to swing into those tight spaces on those airplanes?
I don't give a shit.
Exactly.
Those things are so uncomfortable.
This asshat made the argument that that it is not your right to touch my seat that I paid for.
Bitch.
You don't have a right to that seat. Please show me in either the Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms or the U.S. Bill of Rights where you have ownership of a fucking chair you're renting. You cockwaffle.
So Doug Bowser, he responded to this guy. Let me tell you what this guy said. He said, as you make your way to your seat, rise from your seat, navigate the center aisle, etc. A reminder, you do not have the right to touch other people's seats, backs. Like that was like this whole thing, right?
You are a blue waffle, sir. You can shut the fuck up.
So
Eat all the bags of dicks.
So Doug Bowser responded, he's like, rather arrogant and entitled comment. Some people may be challenged moving to their seat. Physical limitations, narrowness of seats, things I just brought up, right? And that said, if a passenger should need support to support themselves getting in and out of the seat, they should be as gentle as physically can, right? And that's that's reasonable, I think. Like
I don't even care.
I'm a tall, wide dude. Cajun's taller than I am. Like I'm pretty
if
sure.
If you yank on the seat to get your ass in the seat when you're sitting in a fucking sardine can, who gives a shit?
Right.
It's more.
Either I grab your chair or I land on your lap. Your choice.
Well, and then you always have that awkward thing of like, do I give you the junk or do I give you the trunk when you're trying to go to the bathroom on an airplane? Do you shove your junk in their face or you shove your ass in their face when you're trying to squeeze past somebody? Like, if your concern is the back of a chair, choke on every bag of dicks out there and probably some nails too. And actually, one better, I hope for the rest of your life, every morning when you get out of bed, or you wake up, you step on Lego blocks, barefoot, every day on the tiny little ones that hurt like a bitch.
You put on there as a postscript, where on your ticket purchase documentation are your rights to the seat back or other rules you speak of declared. And the dude responded back with entitled would be indicating you own everything, not elucidated on a ticket contract. His name is Rogers, I think is what it is, Chad Rogers. Manners are what I can't even say, or CLEA, I can't remember. Happy to help you go out on them on this post. And Bowser responded and the best fuck you ever. He says, manners are different than rights. I do see the arrogance is still prevalent, however. Have yourself a good day. Which is the best corporate fuck off.
Have the day you deserve.
That is the southern equivalent of "Oh bless your heart," right? That's what the.
Or as Canadians say, "You fucking asshat." I just made that up, but it works.
Other than that, looks like Mark Hamill's voicing the Joker in Multiversus. I don't really care about Multiversus at all. Cajun and I kind of just went like, "Oh, it's Smash. We're gonna go play Brawlhalla."
Yeah.
I don't care about Multiverse, but I love listening to fucking Mark Hamill voice the Joker.
I agree.
He's terrifying.
I love listening to Mark Hamill voice the Joker as Winnie the Pooh.
Or as voice the Joker reading Lord Cheeto tweets. As much as I like listening to Billy West read Lord Cheeto tweets as Zap Brannigan.
Oh, Zap fucking Brannigan, dude.
Yeah. They are, those two, doing those two characters is fucking gold.
You know what else is gold? Winnie the Pooh, the voice actor Winnie the Pooh reading off lines from Star Wars as Darth Vader.
Funny as hell.
Oh, it was great.
You don't know the power of the dogs. I can just imagine.
No.
I can just imagine.
Yeah, no.
Dude is Eeyore. Holy shit, he'd be so depressed.
Yeah. I forgot Tigger was like one of the other Siths. I can't remember, but it was hilarious. But so that's pretty much all I've got. I brought to the table tonight. Anybody have anything else? Crit, you got something?
Oh, her mic might be off.
I don't have anything in my head right now. I mean, aside from waiting for the next, World of Warcraft expansion, even if I
what is
missed
that? What is the new
Well,
expansion?
Well, they're not doing BlizzCon this year, but they have 3 expansions lined up. I think it's like The War Within, Midnight, and something something. I forget.
Right, that's what they were doing.
Yeah.
They're doing their own Lord of the Rings trilogy, I guess. Because they announced all 3 at once. Thank you,
I
Metzi.
heard that also. I think I also heard that they're coming out with another Lord of the Rings live action.
Yes, there's an animated Lord of the Rings coming out the end of this year, and then they're in the process of making another live action one in 2026.
Great, more opportunities to see Smeagol.
Oh, is it the Hunt for Smeagol?
Oh no, not that picture again. If you don't know what I'm talking about, somebody took a picture. It's a real art drawing, and then labeled it like the downfall of Smeagol or something. And it is the most. It literally is a gay. It literally is a gay scene in oil painting from I don't know what year, but when they called it the the Torment of Smeagol or something fucked up. I was like, no, this painting's ruined. Fuck this. I'm out.
There's a lot of fail in this image. All right. Oh.
Yeah. Oh, fuck, whose Discord
Honey.
was that in? Because I just saw that too, and it's just like, oh no, this is now ruined forever.
And ever.
Well,
I
I
just
know.
remember, like, even in high school, I don't know if you were around for it, Nord, but the song with boil 'em, mash 'em, stick 'em in a stew, potatoes,
Potatoes.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to naming it up again.
To be fair, I'm down for any Lord of the Rings action that we can get. The past show was so we're looking for a redemption arc at this point. I'm looking for a full blown Silmarillion movie. That's what I want. I'm hoping that's what they're doing in 2026.
I've never read that book.
Isn't that an unfinished book that was completed by his son?
It's the precursor to everything that happened in the main storyline in The Hobbit and whatnot. So I don't know. I really don't know.
Imagine if they merged Lord of the Rings and Game of Thrones.
Lord of the Thrones, Game of Rings.
No.
Game of
See
Rings.
that.
Just don't have a whole bunch of chickens involved, because then it becomes Lord of the Cock Rings.
Oh.
Oh.
And on that note, thank you for joining us, ladies and gentlemen.
See you all next week as I fumble my lines.
It's time for the round table.
Everybody.
It's time for the round table.
I've ruined tonight.
No, you ended. That was the punchline. We needed the punchline. You did it, sir. Congratulations, you did it.
Grit,
But
wait.
wait.
I'm not the
That-
only one making the jokes anymore. He got the dad jokes going on now. I'm so proud. So cute.
Grit, what are you doing this week aside from working?
Well, it's Mother's Day tomorrow, and I'm working.
Yes. By the way, to all you mothers out there, happy Mother's Day. Hope you
Happy
have a
MILF
great
Day.
one.
He's on a roll.
I wasn't gonna say it, you asshole. You stole it. No.
The masters of squeezing large objects through narrow spaces. Perfect. Awesome.
Excellent.
Love it.
I should probably do that again, because that was fun. I did that pre-show, and I can do it at post-show now.
I'm unable to even
damn
right
it.
Wait,
now.
now I'm not gonna be the responsible for Nord's liver damage.
No, it's gonna be me this week. You have passed the mantle, and I will take on the challenge of doing liver damage to Nord.
And you've done a fantastic
What
job.
is in this hole I've never explored?
All right, Subnautica. We know what
No.
Imy's doing. He's going to be breaking Subnautica. Anything else you're doing, Imy?
Other than exploring uncharted holes, probably not a whole lot. Other than waiting for my custom license plate to come in, I decided to finally apply for a custom license plate.
Please tell me just a
Did they approve
barcode.
it? Did they approve it?
No,
Did they approve
I'm
it?
waiting to find out. I don't know yet. I'm still waiting. The approval process says it takes like a week, but knowing bureaucracy, it takes a week on paper and probably like 6 weeks in reality.
That sounds like Louisiana.
Well, it's bureaucracy. We run at the speed of snails? I don't know.
That's
I wish it
Louisiana.
was
We know what that is from Futurama, believe me.
Yes. I do a little bit of doo-doo bureaucracy at work, because I'm a software admin and I get to approve and deny things. So that's always fun for me. But yeah, I don't know where I'm standing at it. I'm still waiting to find out.
I'm still standing. Yeah.
Can you imagine going to like the gym or going out into, places with that license plate and being like, yeah, not today. Nope.
I would love to have, and I know I can't get it, A55 man a la Kramer from Seinfeld with the ass man plate.
Oh,
or,
God.
And this is a legitimate license plate. I don't know if it's still in use, but years ago in the early 2000s, there was a photo taken of a Florida license plate. And back then, Florida had a single peach in the center of their license plate, separating the letters and numbers.
Orange.
Sorry, orange. So it was a single
Georgia's
orange
peach.
in the middle. And now it's got two oranges, so it's got a pair of balls. But the original was just a singular ball. And this person ended up with a legitimate license plate that said A55RGY. Ass orgy. This person So Snopes picked it up, and a bunch of other debunking sites picked it up, and it's legit true. And there's actually an interview with the person who had that license plate. It was just issued to them. It wasn't even a custom plate. Like, they just got the plate handed to them when they registered their vehicle. They're like, here's your plates. And it's like, S-orgy. I am never giving this shit up.
This is mine forever. Sorry. Thank
Look
you.
at all the puns.
Thank you for this gift.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Perfect. So, what's the Nord
About
part
being
of...
the butt end of a joke.
Oh.
Between holes and back doors, we're doing a great job tonight.
What's the Nord portion
I'm
of the
sorry.
Nordinary Nights doing this week?
I mentioned it in the pre-show. I'm going to be making an actual schedule this week, tentative to how things go with work. Tuesday is going to be me bashing my head against the Ironmon Kaizo grind. Wednesday will be me shiny hunting. I'm trying to complete at least the Kanto decks. I have like 77 out of the 151 shinies in the first 100 and original 51. So I'm going to be grinding against that on Wednesdays. And then Thursdays will be for jolly cooperation with the Luminary Ordinary Knights. I don't know why I did that voice, but that's what
That was a
happened.
very strange one, even for you, sir.
I just went with it. Like it messed I messed up and I just rolled with it. That's how that works.
That's a COD pass.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
There we go.
That's what we're doing.
I really love Andy Merrill. He's amazing. I really do.
he's funny as
He's a
hell.
saint.
My freaking spirit animal right now.
Yep. The Nary part of this cooperation is probably going to be doing Sea of Thieves most of the week, Tuesday and Wednesday. But Serafina has informed me of a game called Chrono Arc that I must try, and I took a look, and it looks nice. So I'm going to give that a shot on Tuesday while Nord is doing his stuff.
Yes.
Yeah, all the Pokemans. But I've been having a lot of thrills running the 7 Seas, and I've been playing with the boys and whatnot. So it's been hella fun. But yeah, that's pretty much it. And that's all pending on when I get off work, if I get off work.
Yes.
The only thing you can count on is that there will be a podcast here every Saturday.
What you're saying is you need to get better at getting off. On that note, so long, everybody.
Hey, you want to know what I'd like to see though?
What's that?
You know how they have the Met Gala that we were talking about earlier?
Mm-hmm.
What if they made a game like an MMO or something that's kind of similar to it? You have NPCs and whatnot, and you have like customizable characters, kind of like in Transmog with World of Warcraft. But imagine having like a Met Gala event, but the DLCs or microtransactions would be paid towards like charities linked to it.
Oh.
I mean, having an event for rich people that's not self-serving?
What?
Yeah.
You can't have that. How are they supposed to jerk themselves off in a circle?
That goes against the agenda, madam.
That's right.
Exactly.
We got to have the
How are
people
those-
that are
And
out
then
of
you can
touch
get
having drama.
achievements. You can get like Steam achievements or whatever.
Steam achievements.
Congratulations on your circle jerk.
There you
You were
go.
awarded one Steam achievement.
Well, no. If it benefited other people, there could be all kinds of stuff that you could do achievements with, like saved one life with my donation, or fed 5 families with my donation, or just this toxic positivity like achievements that you'll get for doing stuff like that. So.
And then it's like, oh, I can get more achievements than you. Okay, let's see what you can do, buddy.
Yeah. You know,
Right.
actually,
Put
you
your
might
money
be
where
onto
you-
something. Because if you can make achievements, and there was somebody who said this, and I don't remember who, and I very much agree with it. There should be a cap at a maximum of personal wealth, combined total wealth of $1 billion, and that's it.
No.
You get to your $1 billion, you get your participation trophy saying you've joined this club of $1 billion or billionaires,
We'll wrap it
and
up.
the rest of the money you earn gets taken away from you and put into like social services. But
Yeah.
you do get your participation trophy. Don't worry.
As long
you can
as the
send
government
back-
keeps its hands out of it, like no joke, like the whole Social Security thing is like fucking scary. Like they're borrowing. That's a whole different subject, and this is a gaming podcast.
Here we go. The moment they hit 999,999 million or whatever it is, that every dollar after that is donated to a charity.
Yeah, pretty much. It's
Yeah,
like YouTube.
exactly,
Once you
like
hit like
social
100
services.
million subscribers, they send you some ruby trophy and be like, "All right, you're good." Like that's all you get.
you get your $1 billion participation trophy, and you're not allowed to make any more money.
Nope.
If your income drops below that, great. If you go back up to $1 billion, great, but you don't get a second participation trophy.
Correct.
You got your participation trophy. What else do you want? But yeah, I think everything else should be taken away from you and put into social services. Whether that's like after school programs, whether that's like, charitable stuff, don't care. You got your participation trophy. Get the fuck out of my way. I got shit to do.
Yeah, pretty much. Okay, I'm going to stop the local recording.